What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. It has finally arrived, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, Lost Years, issue number 1. Written by Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz. Pencils are Gallant and King, Ben Bishop, and some work by Kevin Eastman as well. The colorist being Luis Delgado. Published by IDW. We are jumping into the years in between everything that took place in The Last Ronin. We are gonna see Michelangelo's journey after his entire family, all of his friends, thought to be dead. But we're also picking up in present day, because young Casey, the daughter of Casey Jones and April, after the battle of The Last Ronin, we have 4 new turtles. These turtles, they are going to be the next generation of ninja, but only if Casey Marie is able to be their sensei. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up with Casey trying to train our young turtles. We have Odin, we have Uno, we have Moja, and we have Yi. We are quickly learning that these turtles are still very much toddlers, wrestling with one another. One's always hungry, one's annoying the other one. Their talking is still not in complete sentences, but Casey is doing her best to train up these turtles. As they continue doing their Tai Chi, we see that not all of the turtles are down for this. They're kids, they're grumpy, they're pushing each other, they're just causing all kinds of trouble. That is when Grandma April comes into the room. April saying that it's probably a good time to take a time out. These children, these young turtles, they're still learning. They're still learning how to be nice, how to be respectful. They're learning the basic fundamentals of being a person. But April telling all of the turtles to go ahead and take a break. She'll make lunch soon for all of them. She takes Casey aside and says that you might be pushing just a little too hard. Because at the end of the day, these guys are just toddlers. They're just babies. And while you believe that you need to turn them into ninja, you are the only one that believes this to be necessity. The problem is, this city is still very much having problems. Though the Foot Clan may no longer be around, there are still dangers out there. There is a new power struggle within inside the city, and she believes that the turtles, they are going to be needed to fight what is to come next. But April reminds Casey again that they are children, they are babies, they are going to need time. That is what throws us into the past. 3 years after the death of his family, 3 years since he has felt anything, and now he is feeling pain. And we saw a little bit of this in the Last Ronin main series, because Mikey had gone to find some kind of safe haven, a cabin up in the mountains, recluse, away from everybody. That is until the locals found him. Being terrified of the green monster, they came with bats and pitchforks. They came to run him out of here. And Mikey, he's just taking all of this pain, thinking that maybe he will die. And at this point, he kind of welcomes it, as he remembers when he first made the trek up this treacherous mountain. Raphael, Leonardo, Donatello, and Master Splinter, all of them slain. His brothers, his father, all of his friends. At this point, he believes April, Casey, everybody else had died, with him being the last one alive. Not knowing what to do or where to go, he heads into those mountains. He finds an old abandoned building that is run down and beat up. He lays down. He believes that he is going to die, but then he doesn't. Eventually, spring comes along. Everything is gleaming with life. Koi fish are jumping. The plants are growing. He finds some kind of balance. Studying Splinter's journal, he continues on his training. He believed that maybe he had found some peace. That is until the villagers came. They came with their weapons. They beat him. They battered him. They made him bleed. As he takes all of this, he thinks back on what his father would say. This is what takes him to a memory where they are at absolute war with the Foot Clan. His father telling him to get up, that his brothers have nearly broken through the last line of Foot Clan defenders. That this is what he has trained for his entire life, to get up and rejoin his brothers, telling Splinter that he can't. Splinter lets him know that this is not his destiny, that he will not leave him here to meet a coward's end. That is when Mikey, he gets up to fight the villagers, remembering his father's words, remembering that word, coward. He is no coward. And so he gets up, he takes one of their scythes, and he slices one of their stomachs open. At this point, they see this and they are petrified, with Mikey jumping in on him. Not a single one of them had a chance. Years of rage, loneliness, grief, and guilt all built up and taken out on them, with only one of them being able to slip away. He picks up his father's book. He goes and packs up all of his belongings. He knew that this peace and serenity could not last forever, that eventually the world was going to find him. Now he knows that he needs to get redemption for his family, that is his destiny, that is his end. As he makes the trek back into a local town, what he finds are cattle, bodies, vehicles, buildings on fire. Not sure what has happened here. What has happened is the same individuals that came looking for him. They are a much bigger organization than he thought, with the survivor being able to point out that is the guy that beat us up in the hills. Mikey wastes no time. One by one, he starts taking down these goons. But he's not in his prime. He has been spending the last 3 years being a gardener and a fisherman. But that doesn't stop him from laying down the hate. One by one, they are all taken out. The guy that was able to slip away, Mikey drives a sword right through his freaking chest. This is when one of the local wounded villagers, he comes out. He lets Mikey know that you gotta go. You gotta flee, because these are Deathworm's men. The Deathworm, he will find out about this. He will come here, and he will kill you. That you can't face this army alone. That is what picks us up back in that battle where Splinter is letting him know that you are not going to meet a coward's end. Mikey letting it be known that he just can't do this anymore. But Splinter tells him that you are not, that we are doing this. Your brothers, you, and me. We fight this war together forever, always. In present day, Mikey having tears come down his face. He knows that he fights these wars alone now. But that is when he hears a voice from behind him. The voices, they come from his brothers, saying that are you going to listen to the old man? Are you going to listen to what he told you? Are you gonna get up and get moving? And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So far, it's off to a very promising start. I was really hoping that they were going to continue on with Casey Marie and the 4 new turtles. I am very excited to see how all of that plays out, but I'm also more excited about the fact that we are filling in the gaps of everything Michelangelo really went through and endured as he made his way back to New York City to ultimately defeat the Foot Clan once and for all. And the conversation with his brothers at the end, this has been a discussion of debate, because the running idea is that maybe he has been able to communicate with his brothers through meditation and all of his years of training under Splinter, using his book to fully understand what it is. And I think people want to believe that that is the way everything is going, because that's the happier route to go, that he's able to talk to his brothers even after death, that he is not alone in all of this. But after reading all of the Last Ronin, I truly believe that his brothers are manifestations of his mind, that this is the moment where everything broke for him. This was the moment that he could no longer take being alone. that the trials and tribulations he faces ahead, he is going to need something. He is going to need his brothers, and so he manifested them. These are a creation of his own mind, his own coping mechanism, his own way of being able to drive forward, to continue his mission until his inevitable death. This is Michelangelo, and he is breaking. The years of grief, of guilt, of sorrow, of loneliness, they have built up on him. And I believe it has gotten him to the point where he just couldn't do it. You could say that he has become schizophrenic in a sense, that he's hearing voices in his head. He is seeing his brothers before him when no one else can see them, no one else can hear them. But this is how he copes. This is how he goes on day in and day out. This is how he continues to live. This is the only way that he can move forward. This is the only way that the mission can be completed. And I know that's a much darker take on his brothers being here with him, but this story at the end of the day, it is anything but sunshine and rainbows. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you caught up on everything that happened in The Last Ronin. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do any of that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.